So this is definitely not how we want to present our firearm in just about any situation. Officer here is incredibly relaxed. Got both arms up on the top of the fence, gun pointed sideways. If we've got a reason to have our gun pointed at this guy, we need to be a few steps back off of this fence. We need to have two hands on the gun, down at a low ready, and we need to be issuing commands. We don't need to be nonchalantly just flopping our gun up here like this. Very unprofessional.
Hey, boss. What are you doing?
Hey, boss, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
All right. Give him some real commands.
Oh, be careful.
So, I imagine we want to have this guy detained as soon as he hits the ground. Once he hits the ground, we need to be pinning him into that corner and not allowing him to run like this. So now the fight is on.
What you doing, bro?
And again, the officer, he's almost got like a joking tone when he's saying, you know, what are you doing? Give him some commands like, get on the ground, stop fighting, you're under arrest, stuff like that. Now, we are going to have a surveillance footage that's going to be able to show this fight a little bit better, because obviously it's difficult to see from the body camera footage. So right here, you can't tell from this view, but the bad guy just threw a gun, and the officer definitely saw it. All we should be doing now is trying to get those hands out from under his waistband, so that he can't get to any more weapons. Bad guy gets up, and now he is just going to town on the officer. The officer is literally holding him at the distance that allows him to punch with all his force. What the officer needs to be doing there is shooting up, grabbing him around the waist and pulling him in, so that he doesn't have the ability to throw those punches. So also, obviously, the John Wick one-hand shots. Let's go ahead and get two hands on the gun, establish a firm grip, and take our shots if we need to. Also, the officer here has immediately gone into his holster. Like we said, he went over here to go retrieve a gun. He could possibly have more guns on his person. So let's go ahead and be drawn down on him, get off the X, move over to some cover by your car, and wait for backup to show up, and then we can go put him in cuffs. So now we'll see the surveillance footage. That's going to be able to show us a little bit more about the fight. It's a pretty big officer, and the bad guy is relatively skinny, but if you don't know how to use your weight properly, the little guy can kick your ass just like a big guy can. So again, here's that. If we see the guy and we want to have our gun pointed at him, let's move back over here off of the chain link fence. And again, we can push this guy into the corner as soon as he comes down, get his hands behind his back and put him in handcuffs. We don't want him to hit the ground and start running. Couple leg kicks from him. He's really only got a grip on that jacket. Really, he needs to be grabbing by the waist and doing a judo throw and getting him on the ground. So we're calling for backup. So here we go as we're throwing the bad guy down. This time we can see a gun is flying out. The officer very clearly looks over and can see that there's a gun there. So this is another one of those important rules where there's one gun, there's probably two. If there's two, there's probably three. So as soon as we see that that gun has gone flying, we should be going for his arms to try and get them out from his waistband. Officer's incredibly lucky here. Bad guy does have a second gun there, but he decides to throw it. But you guys can obviously see if the bad guy had chosen to do so, he very easily could have turned that gun around and started shooting this officer in the side of the head. So now we've got a little bit of that arm free. This arm needs to be shooting underneath that elbow to try and keep the suspect's arms nice and high so they can't go down into the waistband to retrieve any other weapons. So not doing a good job of keeping him down on the ground. And we can see here the officer's got his arms extended, which is literally just leaving the bad guy at the perfect range to land those strikes. So again, the officer needs to be shooting up, grabbing around the waist, and trying to pull him down. So here, the officer stops for a second. I'm not sure what he's adjusting on his gear that's come loose or whatever, but I can tell you one thing. It's not as important as this bad guy sprinting towards these two guns that he's thrown. If this is me, I'm drawn from the holster while I'm still on my back here. As he's approaching these guns, I think any reasonable and prudent person would believe that this guy is coming to get these guns to come and shoot you. You would totally be justified in taking shots from your back on the ground right here with your gun. So he's going over to grab those guns. Again, I wouldn't be messing with my gear. I'm getting my gun out. And we're ending this fight right now. You can literally see the officer just kind of watching him as he does that. Then he pulls the gun out, does the old John Wick single hand shots to put him down on the ground. But again, I would keep that gun out. I would move laterally over here to the squad car, stay drawn down on him, give him commands, hands out, and wait for backup to come in. And then you can bring him into custody. Let me know if you guys learned anything from that one. Get down in the comments section. Tell me the things you liked, the things you didn't like, and tell me anything that you would have done differently. And we'll see you in the next one.